Hello everyone, it is that time of the week again. This is the news for Friday, May 8th, 2020. Lots of amazing stuff happening in the world of Bitcoin Cash this week and every week. But I'm going to start off with some annoying news, right? So like in 2017 or so, maybe beginning of 2018, Steam stopped accepting Bitcoin because the fees were so high. That was a really, really big problem, and you can see it right there on the actual blog post from Steam that they stopped accepting Bitcoin for payments because of the fees, because the network was congested. The transactions became slow, expensive, and unreliable. So Steam and a whole bunch of other businesses stopped accepting Bitcoin. People like myself and other big blockers were sounding the alarm, saying, "Hey, this is a disaster for Bitcoin adoption. We can't allow this to happen." And here we are a couple of years later after that happened, and we see Bitcoin maximalists, Twitter trolls, literally trying to rewrite history and claiming that it's not true that Bitcoin was stopped being accepted by Steam because the fees were too high. Whereas you can read it from Steam's very own blog post. And so it's really sad and disingenuous to see people like that rewriting history. And I guess that just goes hand in hand with the same people that are busy still censoring discussion of Bitcoin to this very day on the biggest discussion platforms. And you see they're all silent about that. But when YouTube goes and deletes some videos, they say, "Oh, how can you delete videos? YouTube's censoring this and that." And yeah, they're right about YouTube, but how come you've been silent for the last however many years this censorship's been going on our Bitcoin? It's been going on for, a long, long time now. 4 years maybe? So I'd have to check when the exact date started. So you guys are a bunch of hypocrites if you're busy complaining about YouTube and not complaining about the Bitcoin community itself and the censorship still going on to this very day on our Bitcoin on Reddit and bitcointalk.org. Really, really shameful to see the behavior of these people trying to rewrite history and cherry picking the things that they want to complain about. Again, we saw right from Steam's very own blog post, they stopped accepting Bitcoin because the fees were too high. We just saw on Twitter this last week, Brave browser. I upgraded my browser to Brave browser a couple of days ago. Wow, why didn't I do it sooner? And one of the coolest features it has that everybody knows about them because of their BAT token, the basic attention token. You can earn some BAT tokens while you're browsing the internet. Everybody knew about it for that. I didn't know, Chrome has incognito mode. Brave browser has incognito mode with Tor built in. You can turn on Tor. You don't even have to have a whole separate instance of Tor installed on your computer. So if you want to browse the deep web, you can do it with the Brave browser that has Tor built right in. You don't even have to install a separate Tor browser. So I kind of think that's one of the coolest features about Brave browser. Everybody in the crypto space knows them because they're basic attention token that again would have been launched on top of Bitcoin if not for the full blocks and the high fees. So there's another use case that Bitcoin could have had that went to a different chain because of the full blocks and high fees on Bitcoin. So Steam, Microsoft, Newegg for a while there, and a whole bunch of others, Brave browser. And then one other thing that people love to deny, Vitalik looked at building Ethereum on top of Bitcoin and thought, oh my God, they're trying to, they were going through the op return wars, which is related to the block size wars. He thought, well, I can't build Ethereum on top of Bitcoin if they're doing that to Bitcoin. So Ethereum could have been on top of Bitcoin. So all these things all over the world, they could have been on top of Bitcoin, and these small block Bitcoin Core maximalists drove it away. And you'll see a lot of people recently saying, yeah, but Bitcoin's $10,000 this week, hooray. What would it been? What would it have been if we hadn't driven all those businesses away? What if Steam had been able to accept Bitcoin the whole way through? What if Brave browser had built their token on top of Bitcoin? What if Tether didn't have to migrate away from Bitcoin and onto Ethereum? What if Ethereum had been on top of Bitcoin to begin with? What if all these businesses were able to continue building on Bitcoin and it hadn't been a problem? What would Bitcoin be today? Why would we be hearing about hedge funds looking at it today? They would have been looking at it years ago and investing years ago, and maybe the price today wouldn't be $10,000. Maybe it would be $20,000. Maybe it would be $200,000 already. We don't know, but I think very, very, very clearly the price would have been significantly higher if we hadn't run into that scaling roadblock where literally Bitcoin.com could no longer in good faith promote Bitcoin, BTC, because the user experience was so bad. If Bitcoin.com can't promote Bitcoin as the top currency, there's a giant, giant problem with Bitcoin. But that's why there's so much wonderful development happening on Bitcoin Cash with an amazingly passionate community on Bitcoin Cash. 6 projects raised over $500,000 worth of Bitcoin Cash just from the community out there that wanted to do it. So some of the biggest winners out there was the Bitcoin Cash node version there. They raised more than 1,000 Bitcoin Cash They're using this really cool tool called Flipstarter that I've talked about in other videos. More than 1,000 Bitcoin Cash for that single project. That's more than $250,000 US from people all around the world. I forget how many hundreds of people donated to that, but it was really amazing to see that. Bitcoin Unlimited received more than 500 Bitcoin Cash donation. BCHD received over 360 Bitcoin Cash. Really, really amazing to see all the donations happening over there at flipstarter.cash. So take a look at that. We'll put a link down below. Really, really amazing to see the grassroots community that comes out and supports projects that they care about. Another example of cool things happening and people supporting things is Anyhedge. They just raised over, I think, $1 million US of venture capital to promote their, just like the name says, Anyhedge. It allows you to hedge any asset in the Bitcoin Cash blockchain with no outside collateral risk, third-party risk whatsoever. The asset that's used to hedge the other assets is Bitcoin Cash on chain. It's a really, really cool idea. So if you have, $100 today, you'll get back $100 worth of Bitcoin Cash tomorrow. If you have an ounce of gold worth of Bitcoin Cash today, you'll get back an ounce of gold worth of Bitcoin Cash tomorrow. It's a really, really cool tool that you can check out at, I think it's anyhedge.com. And congratulations to that fantastic team for raising $1 million in venture capital there. So speaking of other cool things to help, with these fundraisers and venture capital and all that sort of stuff, we had a big major update to the Bitcoin.com wallet here a couple of days ago. You can now buy up to $10,000 a day in cryptocurrency right there from inside your Bitcoin.com wallet or at buy.bitcoin.com. So more than $10,000 a day. That's enough to let you buy just over one entire Bitcoin, but over 39 Bitcoin Cash. So if you're really excited, I would go for the Bitcoin Cash route there because Bitcoin Cash is trying to be cash for the world. It could easily go up 1,000 times from where it is today. Bitcoin's trying to be some sort of store of value and compete with gold. Well, the market cap of that's a lot less than the worldwide cash supply. So maybe, like I would be stunned if Bitcoin goes up another 10x from where it is today. Bitcoin Cash could easily go up 1,000x from where it is today. So anyhow, check out the Bitcoin.com wallet. You can buy up to $10,000 worth of cryptocurrency per day right there. And so another fun thing that's kind of documenting all of this, I didn't have a chance to watch it myself yet, but they just released a Cryptopia film, which I think documents some of the scaling debate that went on within Bitcoin. And maybe I'll have to talk about that more next week after I've watched it. I noticed that they weren't accepting cryptocurrency on the website where you can watch it. I think that they should have reached out to the platform that they're using for the distribution there and said, hey, this is a cryptocurrency film. You guys should integrate cryptocurrency into your platform. And even if it took them an extra week or two to launch the film on the platform, I'm sure the platform would have integrated that. So that seems like a missed opportunity. But the good news is you can buy a rental of the video and pay him on Twitter in Bitcoin Cash, and he'll sell you some views to that. So you can check them out on Twitter and do that. Maybe later today or tomorrow I'll watch it myself because you'll see me in the video. It's been a year or two since they filmed it, so I don't remember exactly what the details were when they were filming, but hopefully it turned out great, and I'm looking forward to seeing that myself. Another fantastic platform where maybe they'll be able to support this sort of thing in the future, though, also, is LBRY.TV. If you're not using LBRY, LBRY.TV, go and check it out. It's a fantastic platform that, unlike YouTube, isn't busy censoring all the interesting videos or interesting discussions. And we're posting our Bitcoin.com videos over there every single time a new one comes out. We're posting it right over there. It doesn't get as many views as YouTube yet, but with your support and your switching, it could start to do that someday. So I think we really need to start challenging these legacy platforms that engage in not just censorship, but also just trying to steer people towards one particular point of view or one particular opinion. So that's why I'm a really big fan of LBRY.TV, LBRY.TV. So anyhow, that's my news for this week. If you guys like it, share the link to the library video with a friend. Share it on all those other legacy platforms that can be censored, and then also share it on Memo.cash and some of these other blockchain-based social media platforms as well. So, and if we do that, we can bring the entire world one step closer to having peer-to-peer electronic cash for the world that can't be censored or controlled by politicians or Bitcoin Core maximalists either. So, see everybody in the next video.